This video is about my personal journey meeting His Holiness the Dalai Lama face to face. The 14th Dalai Lama, revered by millions as a living Buddha, wasn't just a spiritual leader, but he embodied the essence of Buddhist teaching that resonated deep within my soul. His message of compassion and peace resonates deeply with my own spiritual journey. This wasn't just about meeting a celebrity, it was more about the potential to unlock a hidden dimension of my own consciousness. Into me. Confirmation from an audience on April 11th, 2024. The email, a virtual bridge to the Dalai Lama himself, sparked a surge of energy within me. The email from the Tibetan administration landed in my inbox like a golden ticket. It was an authentic offer, an unexpected yet undeniable opportunity to meet the Dalai Lama. Logic took a back seat. The cost of the trip to Dharamshala, the logical hurdles, the need for leave from work, and all these concerns paled in the comparison to the magnitude of the moment. Excitement caused through me a primal understanding that this was once in a lifetime chance, seizing the day I accepted without hesitation, ready to start the journey that awaits for me. Tickets secured, leave granted, and I plunged into planning my audiences with the Dalai Lama. Travel blogs, forums, and YouTube videos became my companion, constant updating myself, each offering a glimpse into the trip ahead. I started on a journey that spanned nearly about 5,000 kilometers from KL to New Delhi in India, and then from New Delhi to Dharamshala, a small town nestled in the heart of Himalayan mountains. Thick green forests covered the mountains with occasional view of the great snow mountains. They were beautiful and exciting to look at them. It's like they were like a grand entrance before a super important event. Dharamshala, the heaven of Dalai Lama, the Tibetan government in exile, and the countless refugees unfolded before me. This unique town, or maybe small town, sits just along the hillside with narrow lanes not suited for heavy vehicles, of course, only small cars. The constant honking horns fill the air. On clear days, the view was breathtaking, a panoramic view of the Himalayan mountains that stole my breath away. Unfortunately, these moments were fleeting, often replaced by thick mist that rolled in unexpectedly, covering the small town in cool blanket. Stepping into Dharamshala felt like entering a sanctuary of peace and a curious blend of Indian and Tibetan culture. Life here seems refreshingly simple, maybe due to, in part, to the strong religious practice here. Hundreds of monks, their maroon robes, a familiar sight, walk the streets daily, a constant reminder of the small town's spiritual core. Bookshops overflowing with texts on meditation and even Tibetan medicine line the streets, catering to the curious and the spiritually inclined. The wildlife of Dharamshala held a particular fascination for me too. The first to capture my attention was a lone eagle soaring effortlessly above the monastery. Over the hours, I spotted more and more, realizing I was in their natural habitat. This majestic bird seems to dance on the air currents, gliding effortlessly alongside the clouds, their wings barely needing to flap. The plants here even adapted to the high altitude, offering unique spectacles. While the usual dogs roam the streets, they seem more friendly than usual and seems harmless too. April 11th, 2024 dawned, a day permanently will be in my memory. A cocktail of excitement and disbelief. Meeting with someone of the Dalai Lama's stature felt like a dream. It was 6:45 a.m. and the mountain air felt cool and refreshing as I walked from the hotel to the temple. The sun was just coming out, painting the mountains a beautiful golden color. The streets were quiet, no cars, just a few other pilgrimage or monks walking down silently, and all of us were excited about what's going to happen next. I reached the Dharamshala's temple sharp 7 a.m. There was already a big crowd of Tibetan people gathered outside, and everyone felt excited. It was like electricity in the air. We all had to show our appointment confirmation and passports, and of course, no phones were allowed in. It was a holy sight after all. The anticipation reached its peak as I approached the Dalai Lama's temple complex. Security mirrored like being an airport protocols, a necessary measure in today's world. Once kid, I found myself among a diverse gathering, young and old, Tibetans, Indians, and a handful of international visitors like myself. Everyone around me wore a white kata, a white scarf around their neck, a symbol of Dalai Lama's blessing. But suddenly a wave of panic washed over me. No one told me that I had to wear this. However, there was no time to dwell on this, and it was not necessary actually, not a must. The moment I've been waiting for had arrived for me. In the days before I met the Dalai Lama, all my friends kept asking me, what are you going to ask him? What are you going to say to him? Honestly, I had no clue. Talking super seriously about Buddhism seems weird for such a short meeting, and chatting about the weather with the Dalai Lama just felt silly, awkward. So imagine meeting the great man and asking him, so are you enjoying the weather here? Sounds ridiculous, right? While waiting in the anticipation-filled hall for Dalai Lama's arrival, I tuned into my personal awareness, a practice I have been doing for years, truly turning into my own surroundings. It wasn't just about waiting passively, it was about becoming more present and aware of the environment around me. This practice of heightened awareness became a way to expand my consciousness. Here are some ways you can try for yourself. 1. Engage your senses. Pay attention to the details, the whispers in the background, the gentle hum of conversation, or maybe the soft glow of sunlight filtering through the windows. Or maybe can you smell the incense or feel the texture of the chair beneath you? 2. Observe others. Notice the emotions playing on people's faces, the excitement, the reverence, the quiet anticipation. What stories do their expression tell? 3. Embrace the quietness. Instead of letting your mind wander, use the silence as an opportunity to be present in the moment. Feel the calmness settling over you. By truly absorbing your environment, you can deepen your connection to the world around you. This heightened awareness can be practiced anywhere. In nature, in a crowded city, streets, or even while waiting in line. It's a practice that expands your consciousness and allows you to appreciate the beauty and wonder that exists in every moment of our breath. Around 9 a.m., an official came in and sprayed everyone's hand with sanitizer. There were about 100 people, 100 of us in the room. The whole space felt electric, like a mix of all different cultures. Monks in their maroon robes were chatting with people wearing traditional Tibetan or Mongolian clothes, which were really colorful and cool. Then someone made an announcement and everyone got up quickly. They started calling names, and when my name was called, I almost jumped out of my chair. They told us to line up, and then ended up being about 10 people in front of me. I was so excited, I felt like a kid waiting to get his birthday gift. The room got silent as soon as Dalai Lama walked in. He walked in supported with some monks and security guards around him, and I automatically put my hands together in respectful bow. They helped Dalai Lama, helped him into the room. He looked at everyone kindly and blessed the things people had brought to pray with. The Dalai Lama sat down on a beautiful chair, and everyone got quiet again. They called people up one by one to meet him for a few minutes. A woman in front of me went first, and she started crying really hard. And the moment she stood in front of him, she cried. Somehow the Dalai Lama's compassionate heart seemed to pierce her soul, and perhaps she felt that compassion too. Seeing her so emotionally got me emotional too. She left after a while, and her family went to meet the Dalai Lama next. But she stayed by the side of the room, though still crying a lot. Makes me wonder what was going on in her mind at the time. In the meantime, I could hear other people talking. One man was telling the Dalai Lama that he supported his work for Tibet. With each person who went up, I got more and more nervous. What could I even say to him? There wasn't much time, and how could I think of a really important question for such a important figure? Then they called my name. The moment I've been craving for finally arrived. There I was face to face with His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama.